Good evening, students. Block 3 Bio, our first week worth of assignments. So I just wanted to go over that with you just briefly, just so that you had an understanding of what was expected of you for this first week. So these notifications will go out every week, where I give you this weekly plan that has links where it applies, such as in here. Or if I don't give you the actual link, I'll actually describe where you can find it on the Google Classroom, such as we have here. Because if I were to send those out as links, it's not as efficient as if I post it to Google Classroom. It gives each of you your own copy that you can actually fill in and complete in blue or green ink, and then it will actually automatically upload it for me, etc., etc. And then all the grades and stuff like that will be in one place, and it's more easy for me. And actually, I'm gonna do a little edit there. But simply put, we sort of got caught in the middle of our cell unit, and now we have to backtrack in order to move forward. So we left off right before we were about to dive into the different ways of storing carbohydrates in animals, the different ways that different organisms store those for future energy, basically. And so we'll backtrack a little bit, and then very quickly start moving forward. I do want to say that obviously these times are crazy. Things change hourly every day, and obviously not everyone has the same accessibility to internet, to a computer. There's people in loads of different places, and so my goal is to keep everything pared down a lot. You're going to see that there's not very many things due, and that's sort of on purpose, because I think that we all have to strap on our sensible boots and, realize that there are more important things going on. So without further ado, what we have for this week are a couple different things. Number one, your learning resources. So these are the things that you're going to do to learn about the different topics that we are diving into. The first step in that is actually listening to this voiceover screencast that I've got going on, so that you know what's going on for the week. So once you do that, you can check that off, and I'll actually update the I'll stick the link right here, so that if for whatever reason you haven't heard this screencast already and you open up this document, you can just follow this right to this voiced over screencast. The next step is going to be watching basically the notes that we normally take in class. We're going to continue that through, and I'm going to post a video that takes us all the way through all the rest of our bio-macromolecule notes. So we'll finish up carbs, we'll move on to lipids, then nucleic acids, then proteins in that lecture video, where it'll be a screencast just like this, where I do an explanation, and my cursor will move around, and you can hopefully fill in the rest of your notes. And of course, if there are ever any issues, just let me know. So that's the big one right there. That's where all the information that you're going to be responsible for, the assessment task at the end of the week, is going to come from right here in the Cell Notes lecture video. And again, I'll post the link to that once it's actually done uploading to YouTube. The next sort of definite thing you have to do for learning this week is re-look at that Amoeba Sisters Biomolecules video. And the link for that is right there. This video walks you through all the 4 different types of biomacromolecules, just like I'll be doing in the Cell Notes lecture video. Excuse me. But the difference there is that it's got some cinematography that I can't pull off because I'm not good at making videos. And furthermore, it's just another way for you to access that information. It also, rather conveniently, has down here a correlating practice worksheet that you've actually already done before. You actually use the book to complete it. But this way, if you have that sheet done, you can do it again, because this is, again, that practice aspect of it. So the more times you repeat this information, the better, especially since now we can't see each other face to face, and I can't explain things when they're confusing. So practice will be your friend during these weird remote learning times. And that, as a foray, leads me quite nicely into our practice resources here. And so, like I said, this first practice resource, the Amoeba Sisters Biomolecule sheet that goes with that Amoeba Sisters Biomolecules video, can be found already posted on the Google Classroom under assignments. And again, I'm going to make this optional. You don't have to do it because we've already done it, but I would highly suggest at least watching the video and probably redoing that sheet because it's a good reminder for stuff that we've encountered before. And then the thing that you definitely have to do before you can take the assessment, and I'll get to that in a second, is the biological molecules POGIL. Now again, like all POGILs, I'm not grading this on whether or not you are right. I'm grading this on whether or not you give a realistic attempt. And you'll be graded as such. Because, again, it's practice. I need you to go through those motions of practicing, repeating that information, and messing with that information in a couple of different ways. It's important for retention, and unfortunately, again, we're learning remotely, and retention is all we have to go to for now. That brings us nicely to the final piece for the week, which is your assessment task or your summative. And that's going to be the biomolecules fit quiz found under assignments on Google Classroom. I haven't quite finished putting this together quite yet. It'll be up by Tuesday or Wednesday, which is perfectly fine for you to finish these other things first. And the caveat with that is you can only take assessment tasks after your practices and your learning resources, obviously, have been completed. So you can't do, if you try to submit a summative and you submit that summative and I see that you didn't turn these in before, I'm actually probably gonna remove your grade for that and probably give you a different summative task to do after you've done these. It's not advisable for that reason, but also because you're probably not going to do very well if you haven't practiced, and I would assume haven't gone through the different processes of gaining that information that you practiced with down here. So it's pretty straightforward. Step 1, step 2, step 3. The links, if they are links, are there. And then your practice resources will always be found on the Google Classroom because then I can assign you each your own copy. All right, so excuse me. So moving forward, I expect to see all of you on our Google Meet call tomorrow at 10:15 to 10:55. It probably won't go that long. But during that time, we'll just hash out any questions, concerns that you have, any issues that you guys are having with sort of the internet side of things. We'll try and get you set in the right direction. Other than that, I will see you on Google Meet tomorrow, and we'll hash out the rest of the week while we're there. So we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.